No, it's not working.
Not working.
I'll try and shout. So thank you for being here for the very last 15 minutes of today. I'm very glad you made it so far. It's been a very interesting day. We want to end this day with some feedback from each of the 3 sessions that we have. I think we have 15 minutes left. That means 5 minutes max for each of the groups. It is very, I'm going to be very severe because at 5:30 we really need to go to the conference to be in time for the opening ceremony of ECFS, right? I hope that in 15 minutes it will, well, the rain is already less than it was 15 minutes ago, so. From Gil, are you the one saying something about the, yeah?
Okay, so we met with CFE's roundtable of companies and a couple of the CAB members, former CAB members, and we discussed about our shared interests. We both share interest in having patient input as early as possible, as early as disease prioritization, before we're talking about clinical trials. Talked about reaching a larger audience, potentially finding ways to do this more efficiently, maybe meeting with more than one company at once about issues that don't go into super detail about a specific product. We also talked about the importance of two-way communication. That's something that we all want, and also DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's important for industry. It's also important for us as patient organizations. It's something that we'd like to see come onto the agenda. It was also, there is acknowledgement about capacity to engage with companies for the part of patient organizations takes a lot. It takes a lot of resources. So we're looking at flexibility needed on the part of companies. There was an interest in on the part of the companies there on how they could work with their companies and their peers, other companies, and how maybe they could do some things that will make or ease the burden on patient organizations, details such as maybe common types of contracts, etc. These are the kinds of details that cost patient organizations a lot of time. We also talked about the issue of trust, which is a thread through all of this. Not only the big things, but also the small things, just getting the contract signed and processing all of that. And so we acknowledge that is there and something that we will continue to work on. A couple of ways to address that are, one, transparency on things. Also, more mutual education and access to those educational materials. Finally, we talked a little bit about changing treatments, the kinds of treatments coming forward, and geriatric care, or care for people with CF as they get older, will be really increasingly important. And also, a couple of the companies have CF that are not specifically in a CF department, but that CF is not strictly a lung disease. You know, it's also a gastrointestinal disorder and others. And so as time goes by, more of that also needs to be taken on board. Did I miss anything critical that someone from the group would like to add? Okay. So I'll pass it on to the next group.
Thank you.
50 minutes, right?
15, not 50.
500. Okay, so first we had a very interesting discussion, and the only one with a very clear outcome about the expected relation between CFE and ECFS. Jacqueline said in the end of the last session that she envisioned a merge, and we actually, all of us, were against that. It is very important to collaborate closely, but from two different entities that have their own voice. We don't want to merge our voice with the physician